This video is sponsored by Squarespace.
I'm sorry, I'm going against all my rules right now, and my SSD does not have Velcro on it. If you guys haven't been around long enough to see that Velcro hack video, we'll have it linked in the cards, but for now, avoid your eyes. I did not put Velcro on this laptop. Moving on. A new season is upon us, and in fact, it is my favorite season of literally the entire year. It's fall because this is my birthday month. This is when there's pretty leaves. This is when it's spooky season. I love horror movies. Who doesn't like eating candy? I love dressing up. I love everything about the month of October. And in honor of it being my favorite month of the year, we're doing a little fall themed edit. We did a fall photo shoot, a couple's fall photo shoot. If you missed that video, we will also have it linked in the cards. And now I'm gonna sit down with you guys and edit these photos with you to show you exactly how I got the tones, the really like cool, greeny, warm fall vintage tones that we went for in this collection, because I'm really, really proud of how these came out. And this is actually a preset that I've been working on for quite some time. I think I first built like the first iteration of it around a year ago, and I've just been tweaking it ever since. So it's this nice soft brown vintage look. So what I'm gonna do is break down exactly each of the settings I use to achieve this preset. But if you're feeling like you don't really want to go through it, I will have this preset available to purchase on my website for a very low, very affordable cost for you, and that way you can just throw it onto your photos anytime you'd like. But first, and now we're on theme. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do that you need to do with all of my presets is you need to adjust the white balance. This isn't gonna be set in the preset itself. If you're going from it being as shot in Lightroom, you're gonna just switch that to auto, and now we will ensure that whatever preset you're gonna apply looks correct. But you can see, you can't, you can decide what white balance looks best. Sorry, it's so funny. It's up to you to decide what white balance looks best, whether it's auto or whether it's as shot, but I usually like to switch it to auto to make sure that I did shoot it properly, because especially when you're shooting with natural light, maybe you had it set on daylight and a cloud came over and it's not daylight anymore. So I like to do this first, and then I make sure that my photo is white balanced properly. So first thing I do is I bring up the exposure a little bit on most of my photos, because I find this just helps even out skin tones. I'm not going to adjust the contrast, but I am gonna do this in kind of a different way. The highlights I bring down because it just kind of smooths them out. Shadows I'm gonna bring down a little bit here. Whites, I crank them up to plus 43-ish, and blacks I'm gonna bring down to minus 58. So that's kind of creating that contrast instead of actually adjusting the contrast. Then texture I usually bring down a touch. Clarity I always bring down a touch because it just helps soften the entire image. I used to go hard on clarity, now I do the complete opposite.
You enjoying this video? Cool. Couple things I'm gonna ask you to do then. 1, maybe subscribe to my channel. 2, listen to me talk about Squarespace for a minute. Thanks. I used Squarespace to make my website. I legitimately did, even before they paid me to do this ad. The template I chose was clean and stylish, and I literally built it myself. I really struggle with design, but Squarespace made it super easy for me to showcase my portfolio beautifully. The platform is super easy for me to customize, update regularly, and I can get analytics about the purchases made on my digital products through my online store. And I run my own business, so I don't have time to learn a whole new platform. All right, so head over to Squarespace for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, you can use this code right here to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Thanks, Squarespace. Now back to the video.
I'm also going to bring the dehaze down to minus 10 because this also adds a really nice soft look to the photo, and that's what I've been into lately. It's a little more film-like. The vibrance I'm gonna bring down a touch, and the saturation I'm gonna bring up a little bit because I really wanna make those greens vibrant. Wouldn't be the right word because we're adjusting the saturation, so really saturated but not necessarily bright, and you'll see how we adjust that a little later on. So with the tone curve, I usually keep most of my adjustments to the main tone curve here. And because this image is looking really bright, I just bring down the overall exposure of the image, and I always like to lift those blacks a little bit. It creates that really nice soft black look. I don't like to crush my blacks too much with any portraits or couple shoots or anything like this. Okay, so moving on to color grading. I do love a good split tone, so that's exactly what we're gonna do here. In the shadows over here, I'm gonna give them a warm kind of orangey tone, and highlights, I'm gonna make them a little bit green. This definitely brings out more of that vintage vibe to the photo. Blending, I'm moving all the way to 100. And sharpening is really fun. I know this section can be confusing for a lot of people because they can't really see the adjustments they're making. But if you hold down Option, it allows you to see the exact adjustments you're making. I'm going to change the amount of sharpening to about 75, radius to 1.4, detail to around 45, and then I like to add quite a bit of masking, and again, hold down Option and you can see exactly how that sharpening and detail is affecting your image. And then we're just gonna move right on down to grain. I love some grain, I love some soft grain because again, it adds to that vintage look. We're going to have around this much, about 29. The size of the grain is gonna be quite large, 66, and the roughness about 49. And now, my personal favorite part, we're gonna go back up to the HSL color mixer, and this is where it gets really fun and we really start fine-tuning those colors. So the oranges, I'm gonna bring down to about -8 in the hue area here and warm them up a little bit. And then the greens, I want to push more to that bluer tone because I like that really rich bluey dark green. That's all I'm actually gonna do for the hue, and you can see how much of a difference that made in the green tones already. We're going to desaturate the orange just a touch, desaturate the yellows quite a bit, just because I want it to look very muted, not too saturated, but still rich. The greens, I'm going to desaturate a lot to -60, and now we get that nice faded green. I'm gonna take out any bit of magenta because I don't like it and it bothers me. Luminance, just to really enhance those skin tones and smooth everything out. I usually bring the orange up a little to about -12. Green, I'm going to darken a little bit, so -14. And then last but not least, we're just gonna crop this a little bit because my framing was a little bit off. I was walking when I took this shot. And that is our final photo. So again, if you want to purchase the Mocha preset, I'll have that linked in the description box below, but let me know if you guys want to see any more quick edit sessions like this every month. Keeps me shooting, keeps me editing, and keeps you guys getting a new look every little once in a while. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a like down below, subscribe if you're not already, and hit the notification bell to get notified for all future videos. And I'm gonna finish my coffee now and maybe post a couple photos and find where my cat is who's screaming in the background. See you later.